Hello YouTube, this is Kelvin. And continuing my beginner series, I wanted to talk about how a king moves. Now, the king moves in very simple, short movements, but there are a lot of rules associated with the king's movement. Um, so, uh, in essence, basically, the king can only move one square at a time. Like I said, very small movements. So if the king is positioned here on e5, it can only go here, here, these basically, oops, this square here. So literally any square diagonal from itself or up or side or anything. And so, like I said, even though it has very simple movements by itself, when there are other pieces on the board, it can become very complicated. And so, just like the other pieces, they are restricted. The king is restricted by its own pieces. So, for example, if you have a rook on the board, so let's say the rook is right next to the king, the king can't displace this rook. And so it only has now these squares that it can go to, at a time. Here or maybe here. Okay, so go ahead and take that one off. And so something else you want to remember as far as the king moves is the king can never move into a square that is attacked by an opposing piece. So let's go ahead and just put the bishop on the board real quick. Okay, so as you guys know from the way the bishop moves, the bishop is controlling this diagonal here, right? So if the bishop's here, that means that the king now only has this square, this square, this square, this square, this square, this square to go to. So, the king cannot go to this square because like we were saying before, it's attacked, and the king can also not go to that square. So let's say it's white's turn to move and they go here. It basically just shifts over. So now the king has the ability to go to any of these squares or this one, but it cannot pass into this square or into this square. Now, so let's go ahead and take a look at the rook. So let's say, for example, there's a rook on the board here. The king is basically cut off from all of the squares that are on this file. And so it can go here or here or here or here or here, but it can never pass. It can never pass into this file here because, like I said, it's protected by the rook. So yep, that's basically it for the king. Like I said, I mean, it only has one square, beside itself it can go to, and it can never pass through, a square that is protected or attacked by an opposing piece. And then, like we were saying before, just like all the other pieces, it can't displace one of its own pieces out of the way. So it's restricted by its own pieces. All right, guys. I appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.